retards like Jamie Russell all night. No, you have an actual one-on-one debate with me and let me destroy once and for all your disgusting, stupid soteriology. I don't even know. Some of these people are incapable of coherency and consistency, like Andy. Andy, when it's efficacious to help him
Andy,
condemn.
in fairness to Andy, and I absolutely despise the doctrine, so-called, that he comes out with. Isn't I mean, I'm not educated. I haven't been to any sort of posh school. I have learnt and studied things in the last 2 or 3 years. I've made every effort to improve my English and other things,
Bro, it's so funny.
grammar and all that sort of stuff. And he's not, he even admits it. You know, you don't, being a Christian isn't about being, it is about being educated. I mean, you know, let's not split hairs on it, but you don't have to be some sort of intellectual genius. The simple things of this world are called
Christian believers. He talks about the necessity of sanctification. Oddly enough, it's oddly vacant.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Andy's Greek and Hebrew is absolute tosh. Based on 2 words, his whole outlook, biblical so-called outlook, is messed up, and that's amazing to me. That, like, retranslating one word, cherry picking from the Greek, this, that, and the other, right? Using his Strong's or his Young's Literal, I think he used, or Concordant. It has totally messed him up. And when Jesus says, "A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump," I would ask how small a piece of leaven you need to ferment a piece of bread. I mean, if you can knead that leaven with the tiniest little piece, you know, if you've got a lot of sugar in some stuff for making a beer, and you put, I mean, normally you use quite a large amount of yeast, I think. If you put a small, teeny weeny amount of yeast in there, with all that sugar, it's going to multiply. It's going to grow, and it'll permeate the whole thing. It'll turn it all, you know, whatever. A small amount of leaven, Andy, that's all it needs.
And absent in his communication about the gospel of free grace with his brothers and sisters.
I'm going to get slagging up here in a
minute.
It
come up though.
Like I care.
When he
like
wants
I
to
care.
condemn someone or try and say that he is the perfect arbiter, that he is God himself.
Well, I've got to say that now that you mentioned that, I wonder if you've actually got a God complex yourself. No offence. I think I could be forgiven for saying that.
Someone has sufficient level of sanctification in their life. Like when he's not being a raging, immoral, disgusting, theological hypocrite pervert, when he's not doing that, he's just making a giant mess on himself for contradicting his own soteriology. So I just, again, praise God for fulfilling my prayers and basically taking Andy to full-scale retardation. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely.
You see what Booth the Door said? He said,
I mean, that's what the Christian prayer life is about, isn't it? Praying for somebody else's retardation rather than edification, rather than Andy being convicted of sin. I think you're going about it the wrong way, Smokey. But that's just my opinion. It's only anecdotal, of course.
you sound like a Catholic sometimes.
I sound like a Catholic sometimes.
I guess.
Well, tough shit. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't adhere to Vatican II or any of the modern Catholic doctrines. Do I accept early universal Catholic faith teachings? Of course I do. I think